Hello crazy coders, welcome to the second part of our tic-tac-toe game, and this video we will add the feature of drawing X and O on the user selected square, which something like this. Like if you square here, if you O like X O X O. So that's what we're gonna do. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing is I will create a function named drawX, and it will take the selected square which is selected by the user. Now I will just keep it passed so that I can show you something, which is we have to draw X. That means we will just draw two lines like this, and to draw lines you have to pass start point and end point, which will be based on the location of the square. So coordinates of the endpoints of the square will be required to draw two lines. So now for the first square we have 0 comma 0 here, 200 comma 200 here, and we have 0 comma 200 here, since y is 200 and x is 0, and here we have x as 200 and y is 0. So now to draw x, first we draw a line from here to here. So now to draw x we just have to do pygame dot draw dot line, and here we have to pass our surface, and then we have to pass a color. I will pass red RGB, which I have already declared here. And after this I will have to pass two things, which is start point and end point in our tuple, and then I have to pass width, and I will keep width as 50, but start point and end point will be 40 comma 40 and 160 comma 160. So now if I run it again and click on here, I will see nothing because sorry, I have not called it, so I will just call it here with the square. And now if I run it and click here, I will be able to see a line. So what this basic line is, I'm just doing the x coordinate plus 40 and y coordinate plus 40. Okay, and similarly in this I'm doing 200 minus 40, which is 260, and similarly 200 minus 40 here, which is 160. So this point and this point will be covered, so like 0 0 200 200, and I am adding and subtracting 40 to get this line. And now for the second line, which is like this, we have 0 comma 200 and 200 comma 0. So now to draw here, what I will do is first I will take this coordinate, which is 200, and then what I will do is I will subtract, and what I will do is from 0 it will plus 40 only, because it's 200 comma 40, and for the end point this coordinate I will use, which is 0 comma 200. So now for 0 I will just add 40, and for 200 minus 40 this will actually work. So now if I just close it again and run again, now if I just press here, we have a perfect x. So as you can see, we have used x y of this first two coordinates to draw a line, and for this we have used this and this to draw for start point and end point. So by this we have our x. But now we have to draw this for every square, basically the user selected square. So we have to get these coordinates every time we have to draw x, right? So for that I will actually paste a code. So now we have a code here which basically says that from the selected square, get the top left. Since we are already using rectangles of the pygame, we will be able to access each point at each location. So to get the top left, we are doing this, we are bottom right, bottom left, bottom right. And for drawing a line, this contains x and y. So this is a tuple of x and y. Similarly this of x coordinate and y coordinate. So what I will basically do is I will create a variable line1 start pause. Okay, I will create this variable, and in this I will take the x coordinate, which is top left, can do like this, top left 0, which will give you x coordinate, and you have to add plus 40, and similarly line 1 end position basically, which will okay, I have to create a tuple of start pause. So this is the x coordinate, and for y coordinate we have to access from 1, and here we are doing plus 40, so that we are following this convention. So start pause is top left and top 1, so we are adding 40 40 for the x and the y coordinate. Now for the end pause we are taking this bottom right, so we are taking bottom right in, and also creating a tuple out of it. We are taking the x and we are subtracting 40, and from like bottom right we are getting the first, which is y, and we are subtracting 40. So this is our first line. Okay, now if I just do, so I will just comment it, and I will draw pygame dot draw dot line, and here I will just use a screen and red RGB, and I will use line 1 start pause and line 1 end pause and 50 as a line width. So now if I run this, so let's see what happens. So we have our first line ready, and like if I do here, this will be available, this will be done, this will be done. So based on the selected square, our line is drawn, and similarly we can draw the second square, which is like first coordinate is like minus 40 plus 40, like plus 40 minus 40. So similarly we can follow this same procedure, but we have to, like for the line 2, I will create line to start pause as a variable, and I will use a top right variable this time. X we do minus 40, y coordinate we do plus 40. Okay, so after doing plus 40 we are done second line start position, and for line to end pause we have bottom left 0, or we do plus here plus 40. For the y coordinate what we do is we do minus. Okay, so after doing this we just have to like draw the line, which is py draw dot line. We have our screen, we have our red RGB, we have our line to start pause and line to end pause. Okay, and then we have our width. Okay, so now if I save this and run this again, we will be having our x wherever we are selected. So we are done with drawing x. Now let's try to draw O. Okay, so for that also I will create a function named def draw O with same parameters, selected square, and here what I will do is, so drawing O basically means I will draw a circle. Okay, now to draw a circle, basically if I just do this and I will just have to demonstrate. So to draw a circle we just have to get the center of a square. So a center of the diagonal means basically center of the line. Okay, now to get the line basically we just need two coordinates, the top left and bottom right, or then we can get a line, then we can calculate the midpoint, which is very simple, and then we can draw the square circle around it. Okay, so now let's try to do it for the first square, like taking coordinate 0, 0 and 200, 200. Let's do that. And to draw circle is very simple, pygame dot draw dot circle, but for now let's keep it that. But first let's calculate midpoint of our circle, which is basically 0, which is x, 200, which is like x, the midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 upon 2, so which is bottom right, so top left and bottom right x coordinates are taken, and then they are divided by 2 like this. Okay, and then we have mid y, same thing is happening, top left y coordinate, bottom right y coordinate are taken here. So okay, we are done with this. We draw the circle which takes the screen, then it takes a color. Here I will provide blue RGB color, and then it will take the midpoint, that is mid x and mid y, and then it will take the radius, which I will give 80, and then the width, which I will give 40. Okay, now if I run this, we have to also call it here. Okay, that's great. Now if I run this, we will able to get the O at the first square. Now to customize it again, we have to get the top left and bottom right location, x and y, so that we can make it for every square. So for that it's very simple. I will just copy this top left and bottom right, and from that I can get the x coordinate like this, and y coordinate like this 1. Okay, after getting x and y coordinate, we have to get the x and y coordinate of this also, so which is 1. Sorry, 0 is our x, and here we have having the 1. Okay, so after getting this, we have to pass mid x and here, so that will be same. We will be able to get a unique circle with for every square, so like this. Okay, so yeah, that's great. Now let's add the logic of getting the both players to draw. So first of all, I will actually create something like logical board, which will help us to calculate whether the square is empty or not, and also in future calculate the winner. So I will create a logical board with empty strings into 9, so this will be 9 empty strings, and also a variable like is player 1. So initially player 1 will be playing, so it will be true. So if player 1 is there, if player 1, then we will check if logical board sqnum, which is sq index, that is square index, and if it is actually equal to I'll check it's not equal to empty. Sorry, if it's equal to empty, then draw x for the selected square, and also update the logical board at that index as x. And also when we are done with this, we have to make up is player is equal to false, so that our second player can draw O. And similarly, like we can do the else, and after drawing else, we can do the same things here. We can check the if square is empty, then we can draw the O there, but here we will be drawing O, and then also making this true. Okay, now that looks good. We are done. Now if I run this file, we will be drawing both, and our logical board will also be updated. So like if I print it every time, like print logical board, now I will just comment this. So if I run this, we'll have x updated. In the next turn, O will be updated like this, so we can get all the updated things. Okay, that's great. Now that was it from this video. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you up in the next video.